Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through top news across Canada. Toronto Catholic teachers want to work from home on PA Day due to solar eclipse. Public Health Ontario staff awarded retroactive pay as Bill 124 compensation. Special weather statement issued for Toronto ahead of dramatic temperature swing. Toronto General Hospital ranked third best in the world on international list. Traffic halted on southbound DVP following serious collision. NDP says Ontario doesn't want American-style partisan judiciary as Doug Ford appoints lobbyists to committee. Humorously morose comedian Richard Lewis, who recently starred on Curb Your Enthusiasm, dies at 76. These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. All lanes of the southbound DVP are currently closed from Highway 401 to York Mills Road after a driver reportedly struck a wall. The crash happened on the southbound Don Valley Parkway approaching York Mills Road. Toronto paramedics said that a man and a woman are being transported to a trauma center in critical life-threatening condition. In an update, police said that southbound DVP from 401 to York Mills remains completely closed for traffic reconstruction due to extent of the victim's injuries. Driver heading southbound on Highway 404 must now exit to the eastbound or westbound 401 as there is no access at this time to the southbound DVP. Access is also off limits to the southbound DVP from eastbound and westbound 401. Motorists should expect significant delays, Toronto Police said in a post on Twitter. The union representing Toronto's Catholic teachers is urging the school board to allow virtual PA Days participation due to the solar eclipse, citing safety concerns. In a memo sent to teachers on February 24th, the Toronto Elementary Catholic Teachers (TECT) said it supported the board's decision to move the PA Day from April 19 to April 8 to ensure student safety during the solar eclipse. The union argued, however, those same safety measures have not been extended to teachers. They have been advocating for virtual participation in professional development activities held on April 8, and according to the memo, there has been no movement. We are now further intensifying our efforts with senior staff and trustees to ensure that the PA Day be virtual, TCT President Deborah Karam wrote. The board must act to better ensure the well-being of our members. Your safety is paramount. The Toronto Catholic School Board said the PA Day was rescheduled after carefully considering the outdoor risks to students who may not understand the danger of looking directly at the sun to witness the solar eclipse. While we have not received a formal request from TECT, it is reasonable expectation that staff report to their school in person for a PA Day, they said in a statement to Awaz News. The last time an eclipse was visible from major Canadian cities was in 1970s. Scientists say the next one won't be until 2079. The solar event has caused multiple school boards across the Greater Toronto Area to swap PA days to reduce safety concerns as students are dismissed around peak visibility times. They cited the dangers of looking directly at the eclipse and safety considerations around traffic and commuting. The York Region District School Board is one of the few that is not swapping the professional activity day, citing prior commitments. Instead, schools will be dismissing students early, something that Education Minister Stephen Lecce says he is not comfortable with. Obviously, safety of children is most important, he said on Monday. School boards have the prerogative to use PA days if they want. What I don't support is closing schools without giving access to children to their educators. He noted that parents who have to work require additional alternatives. The Canadian Space Agency says the celestial event will likely become visible in Hamilton around 3:18 p.m. The GTA is expected to get a deep partial view of the eclipse. Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement for the City of Toronto ahead of a sharp drop in temperature Wednesday afternoon. The National Weather Agency says the city could see record-breaking warmth earlier in the day on Wednesday, with a high of 13 Celsius in the forecast that could reach 16.2 Celsius, breaking the record of warm weather for this day since 2018. But the mild weather will quickly be replaced by frigid temperatures when a strong cold front tracks through the southern part of the province this afternoon, causing temperatures to drop dramatically. The cold front also comes with the development of strong northwesterly winds, bringing gusts of up to 80 kilometers per hour for much of the afternoon and evening. In a post to Twitter just after 1 p.m., Toronto Hydro says that it's responding to scattered outages across the city due to the windy conditions this afternoon. According to the power outage map, there are between 50 to 5,000 affected customers, primarily in the Etobicoke and Toronto Junction areas. Coulson says that the drop in temperature, gust of winds, and potential flurries will likely last during the rush hour. Be prepared to adjust your driving with changing road conditions. The burst of cold weather will be short-lived. Although Thursday will begin with the wind chill values approaching -12 in the morning, the temperature will warm up to a high of 0 Celsius later in the day. Toronto will see above seasonal temperatures return late this week, with a high of 5 Celsius expected on Friday and 8 Celsius on Saturday. Double-digit daytime highs are in the forecast for Toronto on Sunday and Monday, as temperatures climb to 11 Celsius and 12 Celsius on each day respectively. Richard Lewis, an acclaimed comedian known for exploring his neurosis and frantic stream of consciousness diatribes while dressed in all black, leading to his nickname, the Prince of Pain, has died. He was 76. Lewis, who revealed he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2023, died at his home in Los Angeles on Tuesday night after suffering a heart attack, according to his publicist, Jeff Abraham. A regular performer in clubs and on late-night TV for decades, Lewis also played Marty Gold, the romantic co-lead opposite Jamie Lee Curtis, in the ABC series Anything But Love, and the reliably neurotic Prince John in Mel Brooks' Robin Hood, Men in Tights. He reintroduced himself to a new generation opposite Larry David in HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm, quenching regularly. Comedy Central named Lewis one of the top 50 stand-up comedians of all time, and he earned a berth in GQ magazine's list of the 20th century's most influential humorists. He lent his humor for charity causes, including comic relief and comedy gives back. Watching his stand-up comedy is like sitting in on a very funny and often dark therapy session, the Los Angeles Times said in 2014. The Philadelphia City paper called him the Jimi Hendrix of monologists. Mel Brooks once said he may just be the Franz Kafka of modern-day comedy. The University Health Network's UHN Toronto General Hospital has been ranked third in the world in an annual Newsweek magazine list. The list is based on data collected from 2,400 hospitals across 30 different countries. Newsweek ranked the hospitals based on the results of patient satisfaction surveys as well as various hospital quality metrics, including doctor-patient and nurse-patient ratios. It said that approximately 80,000 medical experts were also asked to participate in an online survey in which they were asked to recommend hospitals in their country of residence. The magazine states that those among the top 10 on its list are pioneering the use of artificial intelligence for potentially life-saving medical discoveries, making them the best of the best. The Toronto General Hospital, TGH, is the only Canadian hospital included on the list and has been for each of the 6 years that it had been published. The magazine highlights the hospital's 200-year-old history and it being one of the North America's largest organ transplant centers that's also conducted the first successful single and double lung transplants. The list also cited a study published by the hospital's Research Institute last year on how artificial intelligence and machine learning can guide physicians on donor lung suitability and transplant outcomes, finding indicators suggesting an increase in safe organ transplant. As Canada's top research hospital, we are enormously proud of the groundbreaking work done by our scientists and their teams, work that discovers, designs, tests, and implements new healthcare solutions to elevate patient experience and address unmet patient needs. The UHN's Executive Vice President of Science and Research, Dr. Brad Wooters, said, We are grateful for the tremendous support of the donors and funders, including the Province of Ontario and Government of Canada and the University of Toronto, in helping us to create tomorrow's care. Employees of Public Health Ontario labs are set to receive an additional 5.25% in pay increases to compensate for a provincial wage restoring law that was found unconstitutional and has now been repealed. The law, known as Bill 124, capped salary increases for broader public sector workers at 1% a year for 3 years. The Court of Appeal for Ontario recently ruled it unconstitutional, and the government repealed it. Since the law was first found unconstitutional by a lower court, arbitrators have awarded additional retroactive pay to several groups of workers that had reopener clauses in their contracts, including teachers, nurses, other hospital workers, public servants, Orange Air, ambulance paramedics, and college faculty. Now, 700 employees of Public Health Ontario, represented by the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, have been awarded an additional 0.75% retroactive to 2020, another 0.75% for 2021, then an additional 3.75% in 2022, all on top of the 1% per year they previously received. Arbitrator William Kaplan says in his award that the employees who conduct COVID-19 testing as well as HIV and food and water testing contributed greatly to the management of the pandemic and helped keep Ontarians safe. Ontario's official opposition is calling on Doug Ford government to reverse appointments made to a committee that recommends judges after it was discovered they were also registered lobbyists. Debate at Queen's Park became heated Wednesday as Ontario Premier Doug Ford continued to face questions about recent additions to the Judicial Appointments Advisory Committee. NDP leader Marit Stiles noted the decision to put the two Ford staffers on the Judicial Committee is business as usual for the progressive Conservative government. The question came after two former members of the Premier's staff were selected for the Judicial Committee, two staffers who remain in close communication with government through their roles as registered lobbyists. Matthew Bondi, former Deputy Chief of Staff to Ford, is registered as a lobbyist with Enterprise Canada. He works with a variety of clients, including Colt Canada, a subsidiary of the U.S. arms manufacturer Colt. The other new committee member is Brock Vandrick, Ford's former Director of Stakeholder Relations. He is also a registered lobbyist with clients like the Ontario Forest Industries Association, the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters, and the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies. The Office of the Integrity Commissioner has said there is nothing that precludes someone registered to lobby the government from serving on Judicial Appointments Committee or any other boards. Members do, however, have to keep conflict of interest rules in mind. Andrew Kennedy, a spokesperson for the province's Attorney General, said the two individuals were not registered to lobby their office. The Ford government has maintained they have a right to put like-minded individuals on the committee whose role is to review applications and conduct interviews for Ontario court judges. The committee then sends a list of recommendations to Attorney General Downey's office. Downey hasn't been shy about the government choosing former staffers to recommend judges. The Premier went so far as to say that he hopes to appoint like-minded judges that support his call for a harsher bail system. Ontario Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie argued this isn't how Canada's justice system is supposed to work. The person Ford appoints to help pick judges is told to pick judges who will rule the way the Premier wants. And a few days later, he registers as a lobbyist to help get a gun manufacturer government grants, Crombie said. Worse, it's part of an intentional pattern. Doug Ford says he's for the people, but what he's really for is his rich insider friends. He's not bumbling from one crisis to another. He's deliberately enacting a reckless conservative agenda to help his conservative cronies get ahead. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.